To the retail pharmacists at CVS, Walgreens, and other big retail chains, should you join a union? So right now there's a GoFundMe, and it has raised already $64,000 as of March 2024. And I'm definitely not donating to this. And I'm surprised that so many pharmacists have donated so far, because there is no business plan. There is no breakdown of what the money is going to do. And the guy organizing this, he has no experience with the union. He would have to hire someone with union experience to pay them like over $100,000 a year. I see his replies to comments. There was a pharmacist at an independent pharmacy asking if he should join the union. And this GoFundMe organizer was like, yeah, join the union, even though the independent pharmacist would gain no benefit and would have to pay money to the union periodically. So that's why I definitely would not trust the organizer of this GoFundMe. I also saw him commenting on how he would use the money to those people who went on strike. And I can tell like he's not the type of person to take time, free time, just to prove how much people work, how much work people would have done if they did not go on strike. So when starting a union, you have to hire representatives to start the union, because people, they won't work for free. Then you have to organize people at different levels, like at the city level, and then the county level, the state level, and then the whole country level. So you probably would need at least $2 million to achieve this, considering the large amount of pharmacists already in retail. And I expect at least $5 million to execute a union at that level. Because you have to realize that people, they won't work for free, because the benefit they're going to get will be equal across everyone in the union. So the union leaders that you hire, they need to have some financial incentive. So I'm going to discuss first the disadvantages of a union. First, it is more difficult to fire an unproductive employee. So when there's budget cuts, someone's going to have to work harder, right? And the older generation, people who have been in the union a long time, they don't believe that they have to work harder. So then someone has to pick up their work, right? Which is probably the younger people. So the second disadvantage of a union is that you have to pay the union, because union leaders, they're not going to be working for free. So I have experience in my particular union where 1.5% of every paycheck, it goes to the union. So I get paid every 2 weeks. So if I made $8,000 in one of my paycheck before taxes, I usually make about $8,000. So I'm going to be paying the union $120 out of every one of my paychecks. And then I lose 32% more to taxes for my paycheck. So my take-home pay is like half of that probably. So my particular union actually sucks. So they spend the money on expensive food and hotel rooms and strippers. And then on paper it shows food, boarding, entertainment. But there are videos out there showing strippers at like these fancy hotel suites. So every member, they vote on the union leaders every year. However, the hospital with the most employees, they're probably going to vote for their own staff, right? Because they know their own staff and they see like ads from their own staff asking to vote for them. So those people in the largest hospitals will usually win the election. Or in the case of the pharmacy, the retail pharmacies, whoever has the largest amount of pharmacists in that retail area will probably win. So some years are good, such as a larger raise than the typical 3 to 5%. But everyone in my union, they'll get the same percentage increase. And your raise, it depends on the length of time that you have worked. So it doesn't matter about your productivity or how much you have done for the company. That's why the older generation, they love working for unions, because they can't get fired while they're being rewarded with a raise by exerting the same or less effort. So if you see on TV or online, you'll see a lot of Kaiser employees go on strike frequently. That's because the employees are predominantly the older generation. So my classmates, who are recent grads also, So they were hired to only work per diem, not part-time, not full-time. So per diem is like just like temporary work and work like once in a while. And my classmates in particular, they'd only work one, maybe 2 shifts a week, and they could never transition to part-time or full-time because Kaiser, they know once they hire these people, then they can't be fired. And what sucks is that you need to be at least part-time in order to receive employee benefits like health insurance, vision, and dental insurance. All right, so now I'm gonna reverse course and talk about the advantages of a union. So you get better pay collectively, so you're guaranteed to get a raise every year. So Kaiser, for example, they just got a 21% raise over a 4-year course. So my hospital in particular, the union, we get 3 to 5% every year. So another advantage of being in a union is minimum work conditions. So for example, like there'll be at least one technician required for every pharmacist, and for every like 500 scripts, there has to be at least one pharmacist. So if your pharmacy verifies 100 scripts, then you probably get a second pharmacist. Another advantage of a union is that you can't get fired. Very few exceptions. So even if you're 100 years old, you still get to work. They can't fire you because you're lazy or don't do much work. And also another advantage of the union is that you get better benefits, such as healthcare coverage, free or cheap dental insurance premiums, and free or cheap vision insurance premiums. Another advantage is that you might be getting better pay for being on call. So in conclusion, if you are young and straight out of pharmacy school, joining a union at work is the worst thing you can do because there's little room for career advancement. So on the job, you'll be doing most of the work while the older generation reaps the high salary. And you will be making way less money than your older counterparts, and you'll never catch up to their salary since raises are based on time of employment. You can't complain to your manager because they can't hire more staff due to budget. However, on the other hand, if you're older than 40 years old, the union is the greatest thing ever. You can slack off and get a raise regardless of your performance. You can come to work late, leave work early, take as many breaks as you want, refuse to do more assignments. I'm going to show another video of particular examples at my work. So that's the end of this video. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments.